So, right, here's my very brief review. And it's kind of a comparison between the ZX6 and the ER6F, because after having ridden the ZX6 for a couple of weeks, I feel like I've got a better opinion of the ER6F now. So the first most obvious difference is the ride position. Oh god, hang on. Now, you know, the ZX6 is a very extreme ride position, and you've got to continually remind yourself not to put all your weight on your wrists. What am I doing? This is fucking stupid. Sorry, I was braking the entire way around that corner because I was being an idiot. Now, I personally didn't have trouble with the weight on wrists or aching back or anything like that, but I did get a neck ache after about 30 minutes because you're like this with your head up all the time, and it's quite strenuous if you've got bad neck posture like me. And the other thing is you kind of feel like you can't look around and enjoy the scenery as much because of that ride position. However, the advantage of that ride position is that it makes leaning and cornering properly much easier, in my opinion. I've always found leaning on the ER6F quite difficult because it's a bit of an unnatural posture, although it is much more comfortable. The ER6F is a joy to ride at long distance. It's just so comfy, and also around town, every time you come to lights, you don't have to put it in neutral. You can just sit there with the clutch in. Whereas on a Super Sports, you can't really sit crouched over for extended periods of time like that. It's a bit awkward, so you have to put it in neutral, get up, and by the time you get up, the traffic lights have usually changed. So that's the downside to that. The brakes are phenomenally good on the ZX6 compared to the ER6F. That was, when I went back to the ER6F, that was the biggest disappointment, was the brakes, because they just don't feel like they're doing anything. And the third biggest thing I noticed was the smoothness. I really miss that smoothness of the inline 4. And I'm actually looking at old sort of 90s, early 2000s sports bikes at the moment as a second bike, because that inline 4 smoothness is addictive. This is very lumpy, but at the same time it's more fun in the city because you get that instant, immediate power, you know. But as I said before, I still think the ER6F is a fantastic bike. It's really flickable, and you know, it's quite heavy compared to the ZX6, but when you're riding you don't feel that. It's more just parking, it's a bit awkward. So that's my opinion at the moment. I do recommend people go out and get ER6Fs. They're very quick, and I think they're generally quite underrated. Okay, it looks like I'm in a town now, but I don't know what town in England this is. What town is it? Is this Dorking? I don't know. Reigate.